gonna do it like this.
Old school to new school, we got the interviews, B-Boy, Reg and Butter.
What up, dog?
Rare footage and rhyme ciphers, producers and songwriters, our podcast is live.
Out cold.
You don't have to write bars to be a superstar. We interview them all, managers and A&Rs, hood legends and athletes and record execs. Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper may be on the show next. If you're trying to get lit, then our show is the light. Blue checks don't mean shit if the amount ain't right. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment when we live. We on all platforms so you can watch anytime.
Funky fresh in the flesh, y'all. Subscribe now.
What up, though? This B-Boy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
And it's Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast.
What up, though? What up, though?
Special guest in the house.
Yes, Champ the General represents Zoo York. You know what I'm saying?
What's good? What's good, brothers?
Thank you for getting on with us, man. For real, man. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Right back. You know what I mean?
You've been putting in that work, man. We had to call you. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, just doing my best out here, you know?
Hey, so tell the fans, like a lot of people, I know Butter mentioned Zoo York. So exactly where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx, Zoo York. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
That's right. Big shout to and I'm all over the BX, man. I got 3 hoods, man. You know, shout out to Saquon, Soundview area. Shout out to Northeast Bronx, East Chester. Northeast Bronx and East Chester, Edson Avenue. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all my blocks in the BX. You know what I'm saying? But the whole Zoo York, you know, I got love in every borough, from BK to Harlem to Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Harlem and Manhattan is still, you know, but it's 2 sections, you know, Queens and Staten. So I got love for the whole city. That's why we made it about the whole city, wasn't just about the Bronx. You know what I mean?
Right. That's dope. Hey, so coming up, when being from the Bronx, man, like, did you just grow up? I know you grew up around hip hop, but when did you actually fall in love to the point where you was like, I had to make this part of my life?
That's a great question. Honestly, it just was like when I saw young kids doing it,
right?
Like you know, at the time we had it was like a bunch of young dudes out. You know, you had Chris Cross, Illegal, different kids growing up just through the. So when I saw that children were able to do it from all the kids throughout the entire game, I realized that this was something that was changing lives for not just grown folks, but even children, you know what I mean? So, and then, you know, you just fall in love with it once you see, because it was representing a lot of what I was seeing every day, you know what I mean? So it's like, you see the neighborhoods that that you actually relate to and go through sometimes in some of these videos. And it also showed older black men, you know, in a strong position of high confidence and having money. So it was like the voice of the streets at the same time, like just something we created as a people, but that made a whole lot of something out of nothing. So for me, it was just like, since a kid, honestly, because I didn't realize we could really do it myself until things started happening. But you know, the love was always there. So it was like a fantasy at first. You know what I mean?
Right. So how long were you when you first started writing rhymes?
Start writing, I would say I was actually probably I would say maybe 14, 15 when I started writing. It was freestyling and just playing with it before then. But when I started actually putting the pen to the pad and making songs where I felt like I wanted people to hear it, I would say early teenagers, like, you know, 13, 14, you know what I mean? 15, really taking it serious and starting to go to my man's studio and lay vocals and all that kind of stuff. That's when it became like really, really me taking it serious in reference to just having the confidence to let people hear what I had to say. You know what I mean? Because in New York, it was crazy. Like, a lot of times you didn't want to say nothing if you weren't nice, because cats was nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you ain't really go just spit unless you really spitting at first. You got, because cats will roast you straight up in your face, like, oh, I guess. So it took a minute just for me to really even want to spit it to other people. I always had to love and do it on my own in the mirror and at the house with my brother. But when it came to letting other people hear it, that was probably like around 15 years old, 14 when I started, jumping in ciphers with cats that was actually spitting. And I wasn't nice at first, but I had to get my weight up. You know how that go.
Hey, let me ask you this though, because that's a very good point for MCs. So when exactly did you feel you was nice enough to get out there? Like, because you was writing, but you just didn't have the confidence.
Step
What?
up.
Yeah. What was that turning point where you be like, oh yeah, I'm killing them out here.
I think the turning point came when I got a little older. I started working with producers like
Okay.
Milwaukee Black. I had a few beats from my guy Viniato out of D Block. I had different people who were shooting me tracks, and just listening to the tracks. The tracks were so dope that they intimidated you, so you felt like you couldn't even come with no BS on some of these tracks. So at
Right.
that point, I was like, well, dag, if a producer gives me a beat, then he must have see something in me. And at
Right.
that point, I started to realize, I already was like the dude in the hood in reference to swag and the girls, but that's a whole different thing when you spitting and you trying to make people buy into what you're saying and believe it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
when I started getting the beats and started getting development with actual producers like Milwaukee Black, I started to realize like, and he would tell me like, yo, you gotta start quality, you gotta just raise your confidence level. So once I started practicing more and learning my flow, my cadence, what worked for my voice, that's when I started really wanting to step out and do shows and showcases and things because you gotta find what works for you in this thing. A lot of dudes want to copy what's the sound, but that works for that person. And a lot of times, by the time you master somebody else's sound, it ain't even hot no more. So you might as well develop your own thing.
Right.
Therefore, but that's what it is for me. Once I found my voice, I knew because at first I was trying too hard. You know what I mean? When I started to relax and find my voice and what people liked from me, because I had some real people around that would gave me constructive criticism and say, "Hey, this is hot, that's not." And once you start working on that, the females get involved, and that's really when you start feeling yourself when you get a female to say something hot.
Right.
I'm gonna do that again.
Right.
Hey, tell me something. Being from Detroit, we used to always want to go to New York and check out the graffiti. Was the Greek graffiti inspirational to what you do as well?
Yeah, I used to tag up when I was really young. You know what I'm saying? I used to tag up Champ. You know what I'm saying? Around the city.
Right.
It started on paper and notebooks in class with my man. My man Wayne, old official cat too. When I was young, he had a tag called Keck, and he was just tagging all over the city. And at that time, that's when graffiti was dope. I want like a big spray paint dude, but I had my market game, and I would hit every phone booth, train. You on the train, you hitting up the
Yeah.
whole train stop. That's parts of the train. So I hit a bathroom. So I really was more of a tagger instead of like a graffiti artist. But the graffiti was big because
Yeah. So.
it was like ghetto art, you know what I'm saying? And it was everywhere in the city at one point. It was like cats was like you would be like, yo, how dude get up there and do that?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right,
It was like in crazy places. You'd be like, yo, son, put his. You'd be feeling like, yo, how did he tag his joint on the outside of the train on up there? You'd be like, yo.
right. Yeah.
Right.
That was the fascinating part to me. Like
Yes,
the
yes.
weird places cats would
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah,
get
yeah.
to do a tag.
Right.
Right.
Like, damn, son, like almost like risk your life to do that type shit.
Right.
So that was to me it was kind of gangster. I'm like, yo, these niggas is real. Cause like you like, yo, how I get up there? Like it was some places that you just felt like the fuck, like
You be thinking they paid some construction workers to put
for
them up
real,
there on
yo.
the crane or something, man.
For real, cause it was like that. Cause it's like, yo, doggy, how I get all the way up there on that side of the joint? Like
Right.
it was like so that was the interesting thing to me. But a lot of my homies, a lot of my friends, that was big when I was like really young. Like when I was like elementary school, like a shorty. The bigger cats was going hard, but I was like real little when the graffiti. And you might still have a few cats that do it because that's really just some art. You know what I mean? A lot of cats consider that art, and now it's getting super cold where it's like dude is doing real murals and like real nice stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
On a lot of stuff like a real portrait type thing. So that's really art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a fun part of the art, but it was definitely a big part of my growing up because it was in my face. It was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of like try. Everybody had their own little version of their tag when I was young, for the
Yeah.
most part. Not everybody, but a lot of cats that I hung with, and it was really like just pens, markers, spray, whatever. But I was doing more like markers, and I wasn't going too hard on the spray paint.
Yeah.
I like the merch, man. What you did with the merch as well, man. It's
And
dope.
thank you, my brother. Thank
Yeah.
you, my brother. I got the champthegeneral.com too, man.
Right.
For real, I gotta send y'all some.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Dope.
that's what's up, man.
Dope. So
Appreciate
talk about some of the artists. You got any features on your projects? Who you working with? Who would you like to collab with?
And talk about that Zoo York record as
Yeah.
well. You know.
Yeah, I got Jim Jones on New York. Big shout to Vamp Life Records. I'm distributed with Vamp Life and Empire.
All
Shout out to
right.
the whole team. 730 More Work, Capone, Danes, Jim Jones, Dice Peso, the whole team. So I got on the features I got right now is on that my project Trap Ghost that I recently dropped through Vamp Life. I got Jim Jones on that on Zoo York, which was a blessing. I just dropped a song for last Friday on the 7th with Rockin's Monster from Helter Skelter out the Boot Camp Click
That's
and
dope.
Bo Black as well. So and those are my guys out in Brownsville. Mad love. Those are like my bros. Big shout to Louisville Slugger, Smith and Wesson, Tech and Steel, the whole team. And Sean lives on. Rest in peace, Big Rock. You know what I'm saying? I mean Big Rock. I'm sorry, but but yeah, but so that's going hard right now. I just dropped the video and it's on all platforms. So
Rock
Rock
Monster. Yeah.
Rockers Monster got he got Monster Nation. He got and my big my homie Bo Black is on the track as well. So definitely check that out. I'm getting some great reviews on that. About to start a campaign on that as well. So we going hard with that. I got my brother Young Ray who's in GP Mafia with me on New York as well and some other tracks. I got a few young up and coming artists on my Trap Ghost project. I also work with 8 Ball MJG. I've been running with them for a while. I got a record with 8 Ball I haven't dropped yet. I'll be dropping that soon. So
Yeah.
that's fam like Bowling G, Push Management, Duprano. That's like those are like my brothers like in real life. So I learned a lot. I've been on tour with Ball and G and everything. Been to Denver, different places, different states.
All right.
Ball and G is some of the most down to earth, realest.
Stage pimping right,
Right.
there.
And they keep it pimping, and they are
Yeah.
so real, so humble, so thorough. Those are my brothers from another mother. Ask Ball, he'll tell you. Ask G, they'll tell you about Champ. That's family, like real family. So I got I'll be dropping something with Ball soon because me, Ball, and my brother got a record we did, and we've been waiting to drop that. So that's gonna be on. Cause I got GP Mafia with my brother as well, so we'll probably drop that on the GP Mafia project. So I didn't want to like just have everything on Champ General project. So I got more coming. I'm definitely working out here, so I'm definitely open to collaborate with whatever, whoever. I'm definitely trying to touch every market I could touch
Right.
and make as many connections and relationships and collaborations as I can. But as of right now, those are my main features that I have that are published and out, and I'm pushing right now. Of course, a week ago with Rockers Month, so I'm pushing that record right now until I drop my next one. So we just going hard, trusting God and staying focused out here. You know what I mean? But yeah, those are the collabs, and I got some more collabs coming, and got some young up and coming artists like Jay Nixon. I got who else on my project? I got Young Ray. I say Young Ray. I got some upcoming artists from GP Mafia coming out like Gail Savo and Bam. So I got a whole team as well of young artists that and Drip Six. I got young team of artists that's down here, riding with me too. So
So let me ask you this real quick. All the artists you putting on that's up and coming under you, are they from around the way or are they just from all over?
well, actually, some are from around my way and some are
Okay.
from different places. So I got one from Connecticut, one from Jersey. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And I got a person from Arkansas down in GP Mafia as well.
right.
So I'm definitely it's Bronx, New York, New York first, but we definitely are open. So we are multi-stated team. So me coming to Atlanta allowed me to meet different people
Right.
and meet different relationships. So not every artist down me is from New York. So we definitely are trying to diversify
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Man.
And that's why I asked that too. Like it's always good to put on your home team, but then from a broader perspective, you want to connect with just good people that's doing dope music. So that's
Exactly.
dope that you're doing that.
Right. So that's really what it's about. Because these artists that I'm talking about, I didn't necessarily grow up with them, but these are
Right.
people who I've met along the journey, joined my team. They're loyal to me, and I'm loyal to them. So it's basically me opening the door and trying to just pull people in, therefore each one, so we could all eat. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you can make money from a lot money helping people too. So
Yeah.
I look at it that way as well. Like it's not just about myself because I didn't do it by myself getting here. So you gotta always try to set setups for the next so that we as a people could keep evolving and keep eating is where I see it. So
So big.
never I never try to move with a selfish heart or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I met Cam and Jim when they came to Detroit with Confessors of Fire when that first came out. It was the debut.
Oh, okay.
Cam
Right.
was with Jacob York and Jim and Freaky and Joel Santana and all of them was all together in Detroit. They first run, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
we was able to interview him. It's good to see how he has a record label, Jim. Putting out what you guys are doing, and the whole expansion over all that time. The guy's been in the game. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
salute. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, salute. I also I have a publishing deal with Centric Music now as well. Big
Okay.
shout out to Doug Kilo, go to Kibo, who helped me get that done and helped me get with Vamp Life. So I'm doing the publishing with Centric Music, and I also have GP Mafia TV coming out in about a month through Roku TV and Apple TV.
Okay.
So and that's gonna be viewed in like 200 countries. So we definitely trying to expand the grind and expand the market and the horizon for the team. You know what I mean?
Right. What type of content you gonna have on there?
I'm gonna have all type of content. Actually, I'm gonna have different shows. I'm gonna have basically called music. I want to definitely do a video show. I'm gonna do a video show where I showcase all the videos from people on my team as well as people who I just rock with genuinely. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be
Right.
just open a door for others as well. I'm gonna be hosting some TV shows from Urban Music Channel as well that they want me to help out in reference to like showcasing people from the city. But I'm
Right.
also gonna try to start like different shows regarding my lifestyle, like one with me and my son, just hanging out on some just showing me in a different light as a father and just trying to send that positive message to young brothers that that's gangster being a father. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. Oh, also, I got my sisters. I got some siblings. I got two sisters who do things with children. So I want to like make a show for them. So
Okay.
and I'm also looking for anything that anybody want to promote that's 100 because my channel is advertiser supported and it's whitelisted, so we already got commercials and advertisers buying in. So it's really just an opportunity to put those on who really willing to work and got good content. It,
Right.
it can't be anything too crazy because it has to be television friendly. So we just making positive content and really just trying to capitalize off of entrepreneurship off of our own products. So I want to make a commercial based on my store, build another web store besides champthegeneral.com for the team as well. So it's really sky's the limit. I'm still not even done with all my ideas. I just got about 3, 4 shows that I'm working on now. One is music, one is like eating good. Like I'm very into like smoothies and fruit and all of that stuff. I eat like that every day. So I'm gonna
Right.
make a show about my lifestyle and how eating healthy and building immune system is very big. And also just possibly do a podcast eventually with one of my guys who just came home and wanted to do some talking about the things he went through because he
Right.
ran with Big Wolf and all of them kind of guys and really know them.
Oh,
So
come
we
on.
just So we basically gonna we're gonna open the door and basically say whatever idea that's popping and it makes sense, we doing it. Because now I got a channel with 24 hours in of a day that I have to fill with content. So really I'm gonna constantly be trying to add something new, long as it's positive. I can't put no crazy stuff where the advertisers won't buy into it. So that's the main thing. Once you got advertiser support, they're basically just looking for content to invest into so they can have write-offs for their company.
Right.
So, you know, even if y'all won't put y'all thing on, I show love. It's like, hey, we each one help each other. Like, because the thing about it is viewed in over 200 countries. So my main thing is I want to make commercials for people who have online stores or people who have other platforms that they want to drive international, people to. Because the more viewers you get, you know how that go. The more money you get. So
Exactly.
if we broaden our market even outside of America, it's like that internet and this, like you say, this technology. It's like you can touch the world and be right here. So the goal is to just empower my people, my team, and anybody that helped me. You know what I mean? That's really just trying to give back because it was a blessing. I ended up getting blessed. So I know with blessings you gotta be a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Hey, let me ask you this, because you've been traveling and moving around. Is it any market or any area where you were surprised that they was feeling your music, like you was
Yeah,
just shocked? Yeah,
I was surprised with Texas
for real.
because some of my analytics came back on Zoo York, especially that song, and that song got a lot of love in Texas and
Right,
different
It's a
states.
well
But I
put
was like,
together
I was
song.
kind of just, when you learn who actually responds to you and who rocks with you and receives you
right,
well, it's a great feeling. And then it's also a learning experience because you're like, okay, maybe I need to go those places or send more marketing campaigns in that direction,
right,
because, but I got a lot of love from, let's see, UK. I
right,
got a lot of love from Africa, which was a blessing. New
right,
York, of course, Jersey, Atlanta, Miami, Florida, those areas. I'm in those areas a lot anyway, and plus a lot of New York people in those areas. So I
right.
wasn't too surprised. Detroit showed love too, of course, but Detroit's like another New York, so I wasn't really surprised with Detroit because I feel Detroit and New York is kind of very similar. Especially when I went to Detroit, I was like, wow, this shit is kind of hard. This shit is hard as a motherfucker. I
Right.
was like, oh, okay, this shit gutter for real. Y'all shit is hard out there. I mean, this shit. It don't like a walk in the park in Detroit at all. so
Yeah,
so for me, it seemed like New York, and I like Detroit music too. You know what I mean? So I mean, for real, like y'all got some hot shit coming out of Detroit right now, for real. So I'm loving what's coming out of Detroit to be 100. So I'm actually, I was definitely appreciative of the D-Town love as well. But I was really surprised with like places like Texas because not knowing, what they like in Texas and all of that.
yeah.
That was definitely an experience that I learned that they when I went through my analytics and they said, so you're getting a lot of plays in Texas. I was like, what? Okay, we got planning trip out there.
Yeah, that's tough.
Hey, talk about which one is your favorite album that you would like to cherish? Like, if you had one album to pick from, like, what inspired you to do what you do?
Tupac inspired me a lot.
Which album was that?
I would say it's hard with Tupac, man, because he got a lot of songs, man. He got a lot, and he got a lot of inspiration. But I would say the All Eyes on Me and the Machiavelli,
Okay.
because Machiavelli came out. I was young, but it was the energy, and then the All Eyes on Me joint was more like when I listened to those albums, I was able to relate to him, and I felt like he was basically like a voice for our people, but also like a voice of God because some of the songs and stuff that Tupac built on was just super deep, and it felt like it came from here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I would listen to Tupac, like like my daughter now, I got a daughter, she's like 13, and she knows about Tupac, and I didn't tell her about Tupac, right? So it just showed me like the spirit of music and how it can really touch you in your life in different ways. And Tupac honestly like made me start thinking differently when I started listening to him when I was young. It was more like the things he talked about, like Illuminati and all of that. Like when he was breaking stuff down, it made you say straight like word, like you know what I mean. Like it made you really think. And when you're young, especially when I was as young as I was, you're very impressionable. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like Pac was very revolutionary and militant, and he made us feel like it was almost like a strength he gave you too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like as if we were fighting for our people against a power, but that was almost unbeatable. But we still could beat it if we just stayed on it. So Pac kind of inspired my spirit in different ways because I didn't grow up with my father. You know what I mean? So I lean to hip hop and rap in the streets and the OGs for love. You know what I mean? So that I was very, you know, I was very like analytical. You know what I mean? So
Right.
with that being said, it's like I would overanalyze things. So my father was in Rikers Island all my life, most of my childhood. So I would see him. So I'm like, damn, And I actually was out in the streets with him when I was young, when he was selling crack. So I kind of seen a lot as a child, you know what I mean, that I shouldn't have seen. But so it made me like always overanalyze things because it was like I seen it a lot as a child, you know what I mean? So listening to Tupac and different artists, Pac was one of the most influential because it seemed like he covered all grounds to me. It was like he was able to be gangster, but he was also able to be like a real cat where you kind of needed to get deep and think about other stuff. You know what I mean? Like your
Right.
moms or your people. So even like the Brenda's Got a Baby and all that, it was almost like he just talked about real stuff. It wasn't just about he was the man and all that, but it wasn't just about like
It's
stunting.
subject matter.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
It was like he talked about life and everything, you know what I mean? So it was so much that he talked about that we really could relate to. He was like a revolutionary person to me. So I really was inspired by Tupac growing up.
Hey, let me ask you this, right? Because you from New York, so I can't go easy on you. Everybody asks for your top five. I want to ask you, who's the top three MCs?
Woo. Top three MCs.
Yeah.
That's the hardest question because mm, I don't know. It's like it's very hard to say. I mean, of course you got the top three who in reference to the music industry,
Right.
you have the Biggie, the Jay-Z, the Nas's in reference to MCs, but artists, Tupac is one of my favorite, of
Right.
all time. I I like Nas.
Yeah.
I like Jay. I love Biggie too. I just feel Biggie didn't have enough like material out because he passed like so young.
Right.
But
Right.
Biggie was on the same level, but that's four. But I would say my three favorite that I of that era, I would say just of all, because that's a debatable one. You gotta have Jada Kiss, you gotta have some of the terrorists up in there who just go ridiculously crazy. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's the hardest question in the world. I would
Yeah.
say, top three that's even harder than top five. So top three would have to be in reference to all around artists because MCs Nas is up there.
All right.
Pac is like I don't know if Pac is like a MC. You know what I'm saying? So he's more like he's more like just a revolutionary artist. Like he's like a legendary dude. So Jay Z's up there because Jay-Z has been running New York forever. I mean, literally. I mean, with the bars and the business.
Right.
He's bars and business. So you really can't leave him out. Biggie Smalls, definitely with the wordplay. Biggie, I mean, really, them the three best, I would say, with the bars, like lyricists or MCs of all time. Tupac, would be above them, but I wouldn't consider him like a MC. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or like he more like a chosen one to me, like because his shit wasn't always about the lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was just more content.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. His shit, because
So,
I don't think he can out rap them three guys, but his songs, you know what I'm saying. He can keep up now, but those guys are just lyricists. Like to be real with you, they got
right.
bars and bars on bars. So I would say you gotta give you. They still hold a crown because even though you got people who make and really compete with them three, like Jadakiss, they still come before. You know what I'm saying? They like the big homies to a guy like Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? So Jadakiss is one I would say up there too. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean he's still he's still holding it down. You know what I'm saying? In reference to like spitting like he just came out yesterday or something. Like you like there, he's still coming with fire.
Right.
And another person after Jada, I would say with the bars is Fabulous too. Fab got some bars, man. Like
Yeah.
Fab got bars, like Fabulous, and then Fabulous has been holding it down for so long too. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
And consistent. Yep.
Consistent.
Over the
So
years.
to me, it's like you gotta have the consistency with the bars. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yeah,
So to me, I would say him and Jadakiss have been at least 25
yep.
minimum strong.
Yeah. Dope.
Hey yo,
So Nas and of course Nas, Biggie only because Biggie passed away, so it's kind of like not fair with Biggie because Biggie,
Right.
everybody else been alive dropping for 20 more years. You know what I'm saying? So Biggie's like a legend, and the stuff he put out still cats can't compete with what he put out back then. You know what I mean? Like it's still bar for bar, just some of the best hip hop you've heard in your life. You know what I mean? So
Right.
with that being said,
did you listen to a lot
it's
of
definitely hard to have three. Three is definitely way harder than five.
other than pop? Did you listen to a lot of other West Coast music?
Yes, Snoop Dogg was very influential growing up. I listened to a lot of Warren G a little bit. He had his little run. NWA was definitely official. You know what I mean? They definitely had a big. Who else on the West Coast? I liked it. Badass a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Badass a little bit because he had some bars. It was like you know what I mean. West Coast definitely had hard shit. Y'all
Yeah.
shit was just they shit was just straight more gangster back then. It was just like
Yeah.
straight gang banging shit. Like you know what I mean. Like this is before New York was all gang
Right.
banging shit.
Right.
Like the shit was straight up. So when we was little, it was more like, cause I was really young, so it was like the Colors movie. So I used to look at all of the LA niggas like, all right, these niggas is all down with colors and shit. These niggas got red, these niggas got blue. And who else from LA I could say I used to fuck with a lot. I mean, I definitely fuck with Nipsey Hussle hard
Right.
from when he first came out, from when he was rapping on his crisscross beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of cats jumped on Nip when he passed, but I was fucking with Nip from early. I actually was trying to get a song with him before he passed, and then he passed. So I hate that happened, but rest in peace, long live Nip. Nipsey Hussle was the other West Coast guy that I fucked with really hard because he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he was like he had that fire, and he was like at first he reminded us of Snoop in the beginning, but then he started, because he had that he kind of resembled him instead of one like he's trying to sound like him now, but. Nip definitely from the West Coast for the past, ever since the beginning. When he came out, I was fucking with him. Game 2, when he
Yeah.
got G Unit, Game and shit. I fucked with Game a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was fucking with Game.
You
Game was hot.
tell us something, man. You've been so consistent with your like clothing lines and your promo and your video promotion. Like you real good at investing in yourself, man. Tell us what type of game you get from Jim Jones because he represents that as well. Mm.
What I get from Jim Jones when I just watch Jim Jones how he works. I'm not around him a lot because I'm in Atlanta right now, but I speak with his team is like my team component, Dane's Big Shout. The guys that work on his stuff are the guys that I'm on the phone, talking to about my things as well. Besides my team, GP Mafia, Kilo, and everybody else that's with me. So what I noticed, what I get from Jim Jones on the real is just great work ethic. From what I see from him, like he's a prime example of outworking a lot of people. To be real with you, you know what I'm saying? Just he's relevant and very hot as a firecracker right now because he doesn't stop working. So I salute Jim Jones for that, and I see and I take that is the main thing that I take from him
Right.
is stay working because you can't stop. I mean, the minute you stop, it's like you start going down. It's almost like it's so much competition out here and so many people at it and so many people doing it that you have to do something to stand out. And I stay working. I mean, that's just the best thing. I mean,
Right.
and also the thing I get from Jim Jones that I like is stay fresh. You gotta do it like you're doing it for TV. Like,
Yeah.
like that's when I watch Jim Jones, those are the main two things I pick up is you gotta always be trying to look your best. Your drip gotta be straight because you're doing this for TV. You're doing this to entertain people. So, and a lot of times you never know who you're inspiring. You never know who's watching you, trying to gain inspiration off your energy.
Hey, low key though, no people don't give Jim Jones enough props for how he came up, right? So, like you see a lot of artists that come up. So Jim came up. It was Cam first, right? But
Hmm.
then Jim came in and the door opened up. He took it and ran with it, and
Hmm.
he became a premier star on his own. You know, a lot of dudes they come in, they man get on first, and then they come out, they'll drop one album and that's it, right? Or you don't hear nothing else from them. But Jim, when you mention Cam, you can mention Jim. When you mention some of the elite hip hop artists overall that's consistent, Jim is one of those names that keep coming up.
That's a
So he's
fact.
always in the mix of something. You know what I'm saying? Whether he show up on and I don't think people give him enough credit for that.
That's a fact. I totally agree with you. Big shout to Jim Capo, Big Capo. Nah, that's a fact though. You said you spoke none but truth, and he's definitely one of my favorite artists as well. In reference to that, like he definitely lets you know that he's gonna make sure he stay relevant. You know what I mean? So I respect that and salute that. Honestly, like that's basically what I try to do myself. You know what I mean? Like stay consistent and work because I believe no man owes you anything. It's up to you to make it happen. So you got to get out here and do it.
Yeah, y'all anthem is dope, man. It's a real fixture in that Dipset tree. You know what I'm saying? But,
Facts.
you know, I want to ask you, what message you got to the youth? You project good, righteous energy on your visuals and stuff. What message you got to the youth? You know what I'm
I would say to the youth, first and foremost, keep God, Allah, whoever your creator who that you worship, God, Jesus, Allah, keep that first. Keep him first. Because that's where your strength gonna come from when you don't know where to find strength. You know what I mean? When you don't know where to find motivation, you're gonna have to pray. You're gonna have to get down and ask God to give you strength. Because that's I know that for a fact. That's the main thing I would say. The second thing I would say is be yourself. You know what I mean? And it's okay to walk away. It's okay to do what's different. And you ain't gotta do the wrong thing to always be accepted. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're young, you're very impressionable and you worry about what people say. And the worst thing you could do is care about what people think about you. It's really none of your business what they think about you. So
Right.
as long as you think good about you, stay focused because the youth, we need y'all. We need y'all. We need y'all to make it. We need y'all to go further than us.
saying?
We can't lose y'all. We losing too much of the youth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know I was outside too. I know exactly what the temperature is. I know exactly what you face with. I know exactly with loyalty to your homeboys get you. I've been in mad situations as a youth, and God spared me. My original crew ain't even with me. My original crew is just coming home from jail or dead. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what they're faced with. But the one thing that saved me was I had my own mind, meaning I wasn't a follower. If I ain't want to do something, I ain't do it because everybody else did it. That's why they call me the general, because I'm a leader. My boys call me that. I don't even call myself that. My guys call me that because a lot of times I would think us out of bad situations because you have to be a thinker. You got to use your head. I mean, the thinking man is gonna always win. And one of my OGs taught me that. He said, "You gonna win because you think, cause you a thinker." He said, "You don't always react. You got bad temper, but a lot of times you think." So to the youth, I would say, "Yo, keep God first, chill, and go to work. It's okay to work. It's okay. That's gangster. Get money. You don't gotta do crime. There's so many ways to get money now. You don't gotta do crime, and you don't gotta go to jail to be gangster. That's not gangster. They got all of this shit twisted, and it's really a trap. And by the time they figure it out, it be like, damn,
Right.
late. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I would say to the youth. Like, yo, we love y'all. I love you. And any of the youth, if you need me, holla at me. I got you. If you younger than me, I got you. Any way I can help you because I understand. I ain't have a pops. I had OGs, and some of my OGs was guiding me right. Some was guiding me wrong. But I said to say, I learned from my experiences, and one thing I realized was that when I was younger, I knew I was smart enough to know I ain't joining the gang. I could have been in all of that. I'm very close with all of that, but I didn't join gangs, and I was damn near grandfathered in to certain sets. Not gonna speak no names, but it's like at the same time I knew that I was just trying to get money. I'm not trying to have more chances to go to jail, more chances to get killed. Because a lot of things you involve yourself with increase your chances for that.
Right.
You can still be down with the cats. You can be cool with everyone. You don't gotta join up every little thing just because you don't want to be left out. Because that's where this come from. And then the other thing come from cats be not wanting to be victims. Trust me, as long as you tell yourself that ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you, and you
Right.
trust God, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. So you ain't gotta join up nothing to be safe. Cause that's where a lot of that come from. I've been around cats, have these kids join up gangs or join stuff because they don't want to be the outsider or the one that become a victim.
Right.
But I learned to stand on my own, and a strong man stand on his own. And I ain't speaking against nothing. I'm just saying if I'm talking like I would talk to my little brother or my little sister. You know what I'm saying? So I would just that's how I would tell them like, yo, do you. Like, do you. No matter what that is, do you.
Right.
You could be the best you.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Don't do him. He gonna do him. You do you. Whatever that is. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? If you wanna do art, you wanna do, drawing, if you wanna do tap dancing, do that, homie. That's dope, cause that's keeping it real. Do you. So that's what I would say to the youth because I see the youth, man, is very misguided and they want the guidance. They got the energy. And they're fearless. They
Right.
way less scared than everyone that came before them. So now if they just get guided right, they could free our people, in my opinion.
Right. That's how I go to get that message out here. Hey, tell us what's next for you, champ.
Yo, man, whole lot, man. Like I said, GP Mafia TV. I'm dropping GP Mafia, the album with the crew. I'm also gonna drop Trap Ghost Deluxe, Trap Ghost Volume 2 as well. More music. And I got Trap Ghost, the the short film coming out too, which is basically just gonna be a little story about me with the music soundtrack behind it. You know what I'm saying? The album, just another piece of content to actually promote the music and some of my other skills. Besides that, I'm investing in different things. I'm into finance. I'm a financial literate guy. So basically, I'm in stocks. I'm in real estate. You know what I mean? I got a little crypto. So I've been doing some investing and trying to basically set myself for financial freedom so that I don't gotta rap long. I could just open doors for other artists and make my money doing that as well as put my music out when I feel like it. So it's more of a, comfortable thing. I also got eventually want to do some clothing line stuff. So one after the other, I want one thing to birth the next. So that's
Right.
basically what I'm doing. I'm dropping more music and I'm focusing on my TV channel that's getting ready to launch. So that with that being said, just grinding out here and getting in touch with the world. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Right.
Man, that's what's up, man. We
I'll be out in Detroit soon too, man. When I get out there, I'm definitely got to tap into the
man.
trap.
Yeah.
Man, you from the home of hip hop, man. We from the home of Motown music, man. Did you listen to any Motown music growing up?
Not really, but I know all about it. I know all about it. You know, I mean, of course, I heard some on the radio, of course, and different things like that. But I wasn't really like following artists as much because I wasn't as educated to it. But when
Right.
I started watching the movies and everything, I got definitely into like the Muddy Waters and all that kind of stuff. And that was some hard ass music right there. I was like, so I kind of, and then when I went to Detroit, when I came to visit Detroit, I actually was taken right by Motown, and they showed me
Hitsville, yeah.
all of that. So I got to feel the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I definitely got mad love and respect. And then when I started listening, I'm like, damn, I seen where a lot of the soul of other people's music came from too. So Detroit has definitely been sampled a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The detail. I ain't gonna front. Y'all got some swag out there though, B. I ain't gonna front. I came out there, niggas are swagged out, y'all. I was like, let me find out. Cause they had the Wassam levers and all that. I had yo, I know about y'all niggas out there, B. I know about y'all fresh cats out there, B.
Cartier frames, the bugs.
Exactly right. The Cartiers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got $5,000 jet frames on and all that. Yeah, man. Nigga, glasses cost your whole mortgage type joint. You know what I mean? The mortgage note on his face type shit. You know what I mean? So I already know. The Gators, y'all was killing them.
We keep
He got a crazy suit with the Gators, the different color frames. Straight gangster with it.
That's what's up,
Real, man.
Hey, before we wrap up though, tell everybody how to get in touch with you, like social media platforms and all that good stuff.
What up, man? Yo, you can find me Instagram at Champ the General, CHAMPDA General _ GP Mafia. I switch it from back and forth. Sometime I had the GP Mafia on, sometime I don't because the label tell me to switch it sometime. But it's at CHAMPDA General, not the, but the General _ GP Mafia. That's across on platforms. You also can find me on Facebook, Champ the General, and GPMAF. On Twitter is GP Mafia, and everywhere else is Champ the General, CHMPDA General. So that's TikTok, Spotify, all of that. I'm on all platforms. You know, you can definitely or you can Google me. You can go to Champ the General, www.champthegeneral.com for my merch, Champ General shirts and hats, and I got stuff for the dogs, the kids, everybody. I got something for everybody in your family, and I definitely appreciate the support. And soon, in about 30 days, you'll be able to go to Roku and Apple TV on any of your Apple devices, and you can go to GP Mafia TV, add that channel, and you'll see exclusive content from all parts of the journey, like making the album, the documentaries, all of that. Like it's gonna be a lot. I'm even gonna have a show like a Rap City type show where I just have all of the dope guys I rock with pull up and spit stuff and drop videos. So it's gonna be like a whole nother lane of just good vibes, good music, and exclusiveness. You know, you never know. I might be riding through a different hood one day. I might be chilling with 8 Ball. I might be with this guy. Like it's gonna be constant surprises, and I'm going to just basically share everything I got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they can find me on all those platforms. I'll be on Instagram the most, and just because I like to look at the pictures. There's a lot of good pictures on that, you know what I mean?
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? The pictures, the pictures
Right.
are very interesting on
Yeah.
Instagram. So,
Hold on.
it definitely is never a dull moment on the gram. You're like,
Right.
you always pop. And Instagram like the streets. You're like, yo, they got all kind of shit. Like, yo, dad, you see shootouts and niggas getting burnt. You're like, what the?
Right.
Right.
Chicks modeling. You're like, damn, it's all kind of, So the gram is the new streets. I'm like, wow, these dudes is wild. But I definitely appreciate y'all having me, man. Word.
Yeah,
Definitely appreciate y'all having me.
Man, thank you, Champ General, from the home of hip hop, the Bronx, the newest generation right here. You know what I'm saying? Champ the General.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Let's go get that gear too.
Got you, homie.
General gear. Peace
Thank
out.
you very much.
We out.
Big shout to Fresh and Funky Fresh in the Flesh, y'all. Hold it down.
So biz.
Detroit, man. Mad love to the D.
Thank you, champ.